What would you think if we started spending more time with Allie and Mountie Nathan?
Yay!
And would it be all right with you if sometimes I see Mountie Nathan just by myself?
Sure. But why?
Sometimes we have things to talk about just between us,
Like what?
like grown-up things.
I mean boring things.
Good question. Why don't you?
You know, look at who Mike's example has been. It's been Lucas. He's been learning at the feet of Lucas and of Lee, and these guys, they go for a grand gesture. That doesn't always include advance warning about a surprise. They do not like surprises to be spoiled. So I think Mike is trying to, in his own way, be romantic by trying to do what he knows will make May happiest.
And you also didn't really have much time too, I feel, Mike, right? Because you got the notice
You're a
about
character now?
Sorry, I'm talking to you as though you're well, no, but I think also Mike didn't have much notice though.
Sorry,
because...
let me see if Mike is in there. Yes?
What are you thinking, Mike? Did you know? No, but genuinely, I don't think you got much notice because you found out that Bo was landing and you wanted to get him immediately. That's another thing.
Yes, time was of the essence for sure.
I think that with this season, we had Mike profess his love and make promises, and he's been very consistent, which has been lovely. And I think that May hasn't had any doubts. But when you're on the wedding day and your groom is nowhere to be found, as much as you believe that he's going to be there, you're just like, where has he gone? Has he caught cold feet? And panic starts to arise, and every fear, intrusive thought just goes into your brain. And I think May is she doesn't doubt him, but she's genuinely super nervous about that. And it's Rosemary who's the one who calms her down, actually.
Oh, well, for Mike, it means the world. Next to May, I think Fiona has become the most important person for him. And so having her back, having her by his side, fulfilling the role of, what would traditionally be a best man is really not just meaningful, but I think it, like the way that Bo kind of completes May's side of the family, I think having Fiona back really does that for Mike. Because as you've seen, none of his sisters really fulfill that supportive role for him. So I think Fiona plays that big part in his life.
She also played Cupid for the two of us. She brought us together, and she's for myself, May. She's also the roommate that it's May, Faith, and Fiona, and the three of them spent a lot of time in the earlier season 10 together. And I think just her return meant a lot for the characters, but also for us as actors. It was really nice to have Kayla back on set with us.
Yeah, having Kayla back was especially fun. She's just such a wonderful scene partner and such a good energy on set. She was really great to have around again.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? It's so funny because I was talking to Ben, and I said, this is just the sweetest, I guess, scene experience that I've ever had. It meant so much to me that all that work was done to finding and procuring a dress for me, and I don't know, it was really funny because on the day it really did feel like my wedding a little bit. I was like getting all ready in the trailer, someone came to pick me up, and then it was such a great experience. And I felt really moved by, I guess, just all the effort that was placed in making this episode and scene special for me, and culturally accurate as well. We had it just meant a lot, and it was just also so beautifully done.
think that, Amanda just mentioned intrusive thoughts. I think that we're seeing the first moment, throughout this whole progression, Mike has been so sure of himself, so confident in what he wants and in the love that he feels for May, which has been really nice to see that side of Mike, the one who I think May helps him feel that kind of confidence and self-assurance that we haven't gotten from this character. But it's the moment in their romance as they're approaching the culmination in the form of a wedding, that I think he suddenly has these little things that are poking at him about bad luck. There's so much tradition around it. He wants to get it right. He wants to make sure everything is perfect. And as we all know, those are the types of things, when you make perfect the enemy of good, that's when you're going to start getting in your own way. So I think Mike kind of freaks himself out thinking about what if it isn't perfect? What if it doesn't go exactly as planned? And so it also happened to align with going and getting Bo. There's an opportunity there, and Mike wasn't going to pass it up to try to make it perfect. Oh, that was awesome. It was definitely a season of firsts and new things to play for Hickam, for Mike, getting his sister, especially his sister there as the other Mayor Hickam, seeing him sort of regress and seeing where he comes from and what he has put up with growing up, and how he has become the person he is versus seeing him with May and the person he is going to be, or the person he is becoming, was a really cool, special season. I'm really grateful to the writers for giving me kind of those two sides of him that were both brand new for me to play. So it was really exciting. A lot of fun stuff.
Oh, she's just such a lovely person to work with. And I love the dynamic that, Maisie and Mike have versus May and Maisie, and also the seal of approval when she gives the nod when we have a little kiss at dinner. I just think that, it was just such a fun thing to play, and she's just like a hilarious actress, and the scene where she's falling asleep on the chair is just like comedy gold. She's incredibly funny to work with and be around, and what a delight. And I loved how strong she was and how it juxtaposed with Mike in the beginning and versus who he became kind of in front of her and growing really right in front of her eyes. And it was so nice to see Ben be able to play that role and all the different facets of him that were flourishing in this season. And it was great to see all of the M Hickams, which I am now one. Oh, I think that May has felt lonely for a long time. And so when Mike brings up, it's gonna be crazy, and she's like, I kind of like that. He's like, oh, thank goodness. And how readily he accepts her into his life and family, and how welcoming the Hickams have been with her, even though at first they're, no one's sure how the Hickams, when they're hungry, will respond. She really feels like she finally got the family that she was wanting, and she missed her own family, of course, especially Bo, and to be welcomed into another one with such open arms, and it was just lovely. Having Bo there, and Bo being a part of her past, and she mentions missing her mother and the cooking bringing her closer to her mother, and the books bringing her closer to her grandmother, and just getting the letters from Bo, and she doesn't hear from him because he's in the Merchant Marines. I think that it just meant a lot for May to have a piece of her past be present in the future of her life as well, I guess. Does that make sense? But yeah, it was, yeah, I think that's why it was super meaningful for her. And I think, even when we were acting out the scene, it really did mean a lot to me and May to have someone love you so much that they would go so far out of their way to bring special people into your life on your special day. Like, I guess, how do I describe it? It almost seems like something that you're not worthy of. And so it felt really big in that way. And to have Kayla come back just for you, to have Bo come back just for you, and to have your future husband do all of this for you to have a special day. And I know Mike was like, I want it to be perfect for you. And May's like, it doesn't have to be. And the fact that he wants it to be just everything that she could ever want is also super meaningful.
I feel like when Hope Valley comes together to put on an event, it's always special, which is, of course, in big thanks to our crew and the set decoration and the design, the production design that goes into it, because they do such a wonderful job. Every time we get to walk into the saloon and it's like a magical new place. It's really, it's really gorgeous. So that was a joy to be on those sets, and it was fun to be this time not sitting in one of the pews watching it all happen. To be up and participating in that way was really exciting and fun. And I echo what Amanda was saying about it almost feeling like it's your actual special day, because there was a lot of attention on us in a really fun way, and it did feel like everybody was really supportive. And there was a lot of laughter as we filmed it, especially when lipstick was smeared and there were natural flubs and things. That there's a joyful tension, just like on a real wedding day, where people are ready to laugh and applaud, and so it was like, it's such a good cast. It's such a good group of people. It really does feel like you got all your special friends and family there. So it was wonderful. It was a really fun day of shooting and night. It was a long day and night of shooting. It was a very fun one.
Yeah, it was super fun. And when we're banging the gongs, walking away, that was hilarious and fun. And we just, just all of our Hope Valley family was like, this feels like how it would feel when I'm at your wedding in the future. And I even remember what I said to you? I was
As
like,
we were walking away?
Yeah, I just said, I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, I can't wait for you to be at my actual wedding.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was incredibly sweet. I thought you were talking about when you were telling me we were like walking away in the procession and you were like, this feels like my real wedding. But no, that was
yeah.
No, that was a very sweet moment. And that's the kind of connections that we have on set. That's why it's so great to come back, and why season 12 is such exciting news, because these are real, meaningful friendships and relationships that we've built. I feel like Mike was really on the verge of asking any moment from the beginning of the season. He was really ready to go, and I think it was there. I don't know if this rings true for other people, but there was that kind of middle school experience, or maybe first love, where finding the actual words "I love you" suddenly becomes, it's like you'll find every other way to say it. You'll be like, I really like you. I like you so much. I like you. I just want to, I want to like you forever. And I feel like that's where Mike has been with May, just like waiting. It's just like bubbling out the, like, I love yous, the kisses, the proposal. It was all like, I think Mike was ready to go.
I think May was too. She was like, every time I feel like Mike was about to say something, she's like, yes? Is he gonna ask? And yeah, and she's just never been happier, and they've never been happier. And it just felt really nice. And I think that had it not happened with Bo coming to town, it would have eventually happened. And I think she was confident in that.
Oh, well, I feel like I've touched on that a bit already, but this season was particularly fun for me to get to play in sort of new arenas. We've seen a lot of Mike at work. We've seen a lot of Mike being ready in town to go and help out. We've seen some kind of unrequited love from Mike. So I think the new elements of seeing Mike in the context of the family he grew up with, and then in the context of a love that's returned to him, were both really gratifying and lovely elements to play with, and it made for a pretty joyful time on set. And then, of course, getting to spend more time with Amanda, working together, it's been a really great discovery of how well we work together and how much fun we have in between takes, filming together. She's a really generous scene partner and a lovely actor, and I'm just that was a big bonus of working this season as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Echoing everything Ben said. He's wonderful to work with. It's been the most fun. We laugh all the time, just regularly, and yeah, it's just been such a delight going to work and being able to see him and continue our storyline. And sometimes we do a lot of our storyline in one day, which is, while fun, it's also, it comes with some challenges. But yeah, I really enjoyed developing this romance with Mike, and because he makes May feel so safe, she's been able to be the less guarded, confident, secure person. She's able to let her fears and vulnerabilities really show through, and that only happens when you're completely safe and secure with somebody. So that's been really nice to play. Also, being able to be roommates now with Lily and Faith has been such a joy. Lily, played by Chloe, is a darling, and I'm super excited to find out what kind of happens next with our living arrangements, I guess.
I think now that Amanda brought it up, where these two going to live together is definitely, I hope that is a question that gets answered in season 12.
Do we live together? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I always wondered where Mike lives. I've had different theories throughout the 11 seasons so far, but we've never actually seen it. So that'll be a fun discovery and something I hope we get to play with.
Yeah, I just want to know what married life looks like for the two of them, because they were just so smitten in the last season, and it kind of happened a little quickly. You go 5 months without a kiss, and then boom, we're getting married. So what that looks like, the slow burn to something real quick. I'm curious to know what married life looks like on them, and how that would change their professional lives, their relationships in town. Would they spend all their time together, or would they have very separate lives? I'm so curious to know what the writers have in store for the two of them in the next phase of their journey.
Yeah, I would also say in Hope Valley, when couples come together, they tend to offer a different sort of, a different level of responsibility in town. It's almost like they've grown up a bit. So I'm excited to see how Mike and May contribute to the town, show up as a couple for the town, and see how that changes our dynamics individually and as a couple in Hope Valley with everybody else.
I also find that the couples always give advice, and I wonder what kind of advice May and Mike would give potential people. I just think that would be the most hilarious. They're like, we don't know what we're doing either.